Whether we believe in our capacity for self-government or whether we abandon the American Revolution and confess that a little intellectual elite in a far distant capital can plan our lives for us better than we can plan them ourselves. You and I are told increasingly we have to choose between a left or right. Well, I'd like to suggest there is no such thing as a left or right. There's only an up or down.
It has been long overdue to expose the truth that the Democrats and Republicans are sucking the life out of America's liberty and usurping our rights at every turn. Now is the time to seize our civil liberties and take back our individual rights. Here on Southern Liberty, we will expose it all. With his musket on his back, the Declaration of Independence in one hand, and the Constitution in the other, here's your host, Roderick Threets.
Hey, welcome back to the weekend here on good old Southern Liberty. And obviously the segment Chasing Life, Liberty, and Monarchy. Because this is what we need in this day and time. We need people to get off their asses and activate, right? And y'all already know how we're supposed to be doing Sunday, just regular conversations with everyday people, right? About the things they see, the things they know, and all that good stuff. And this evening we've had her on the show before. It's been a little bit, because she keeps ducking and dodging me like a bad hair weave. But I'm gonna leave her alone on down. I love her to death. I love her to pieces. And she's always have definitely a different point of view when it comes to, you know, our liberty movement and advocating for liberty and all that good stuff. I do want to say though, you know, folks down there in Miami Beach, stay safe down there. They down there popping people quicker than people can pop mollies. So y'all stay safe down there in down there in Miami Beach area down there. You know, these guys out here getting more and more brazen out here. You know, and just shoot people right in front of crowds of people like it ain't no problem. It ain't no slick move, no duck move anymore. They just pull up, poop, and just keep rolling out like it ain't nobody seen them though. Like, so y'all be safe down there in good old South Miami, Wynwood, Model City, Little Haiti. Y'all be safe out there down in Miami. I'm going to introduce my guest here. Some of you probably know who she is. You'll know her voice when you hear her. If not, you've probably seen her face on the Twitter, on the Twitter feed, or my Twitter feed, whatever. But again, right, she's always a different perspective kind of person, and it suits us well, right? It's these types of voices are the ones that don't get amplified, right? You know, in our discourse. You know, there's always, like I always said, right, there's always two sides to a story, but there's always one slate of facts, right? And the two sides tend to cherry pick what those facts are, right? But you know, here and the people that we associate with, we don't do that. We just look at the factual data and call a spade and call it what it is. That's the only way we can move forward and progress. So without further ado, let me go ahead and introduce my lovely guest this evening, Miss Rachel. What's going on, girl? What's going on in good old West by God, Virginia?
Nothing. It's quiet here because we're country people.
It's quiet because a bunch of country people. Yeah, I hear you. So I'm just gonna hit you out in left field. Like I do everybody else, for shock and awe question of the evening. And I know this is probably an oxymoron, but I gotta ask it. Is Biden doing a good job?
I have learned if I watch a White House press briefing or, you know, him talk, if I just think it's opposite day, everything he says is right. Always the opposite. The economy's great. Nothing going on with the banks. We got that figured out. Real wages are opposite.
Opposite what?
It's opposite day. Everything's the opposite of what we say. We just don't tell you.
So I guess he is doing a great job there, I guess, because today is opposite day, right?
The Labor Department comes out with this thing that says, hey, because of inflation, your real wages are going down. On the exact same day, the press secretary, well, wages are up and we're doing great for the American people.
You're like, what? Like, how does that work?
The Labor Department says, any topic. Oh, your energy bills are going down. Well, that's not what the electric company said.
I know, right? It's like, I got it documented on paper that shit ain't going down. You saying it's going down. Things are great. Oh, my God. Yeah. What about that 17% increase?
My electric bill tells me my usage from last year and gives me my usage for the year. So I can compare my usage from this year to last year, but it also tells me how much I paid for it. Well, my usage is down, but my price tag went up. I don't think that's saving me money.
You're saving money at the pump.
You know, a little bit.
I gotta. It's some sort of pump, right? I don't know what it looks like.
So, they made some deal last year with some African countries to steal their resources for electric batteries.
Right.
And now it comes out, well, it's going to be, this is going to benefit China, and it's like, you don't say.
Like,
I heard a guy the other day say, the U.S. does not manufacture anything. He's like, even those places that claim they're manufacturing, they get Legos from China and they put them together.
wow.
They don't make the Legos. They just put them together. And that is where our manufacturing is. If we're actually required to make our own stuff, and I mean anything, we are really, really in a bad spot. So all these people, oh, we've got to save Taiwan. Oh, we've got to go to war. Why? You don't want clothes. You don't want food. You don't want war.
Right. Slava Ukraine.
Oh, by the way, you know when your daddy, brother, cousin, whoever gets shot when we're fighting for Taiwan, we ain't got no medical supplies because China make them too.
I know, right? It's like, are y'all really thinking this through?
Wait, no, it gets better. Where do we get our aluminum and steel from that we need to, I don't know, build planes and bullets and bombs? Oh, we get that from China. Ask Boeing where they get their metals from. Not in Russia.
But we're gonna arrest Putin. But wait. It gets even better, right? Because Putin was about to put an embargo on grain coming through the Black Sea, right? And they're like, oh no, we're gonna arrest Putin. Oh, so now you're gonna cut off the grain supply to the world, huh? Is that what we're doing?
It's just the fertilizer supplies. Fertilizer has been sitting in ports in Europe for a year now because they won't let it leave because it's Russian fertilizer.
Right. Yes.
That's gotta smell royal great. But anyhow.
I mean, it, like Mama said, shit on top of shit stink, don't it?
Can you imagine?
Man.
I mean, we live in clown world.
I think clown world's an understatement, right? Because we're looking at all these things that are happening all at once, right? All these things, it's like you can't pick one to follow because they've thrown it all in the mixed bag of mystery goodies, right? We have the Putin, right? See, here's how they got us twisted, right? They said the Putin arrest thing, right? And we know the ICC it follows American jurisprudence. So that's an American conscribed court to go after political enemies.
The ICC, we have a law that says we'll bomb them if they try to arrest one of our people.
Right.
We will bomb the Hague if they try to arrest one of our people. Mm-hmm. If that went into law under Bush, we'll just bomb you. So we respect you so much and think your opinion's so important that we'll bomb you if you try us.
Yeah, and again, right, we funded ICC. That's the fucked up part about it. We fund it. They follow American jurisprudence, but that's neither here or there, right? Everybody knows this now, right? So we're going to go after Putin, right? We're going to drill at Willow Bay up in the Arctic Reserve, right? And then we got more, we have the Ukrainian guy standing there getting lit up, right? In that video that's gone viral, right? Like, I don't know what we've gotten to a sunken place in America where people dying by gunfire on film has become like a new spectator sport or the new cinema, right? So we're already being degenerated by these forces of evil that's out here, right? So people don't know what's right, what's wrong, what to advocate for. So they just like, you know what? Hey, let's just watch the news and they'll tell us what to advocate for, right? Oh, Slava Ukraine, lock up Putin. Oh, wait a minute. We got to defend Taiwan's too. But wait, we need fossil fuels to run our cars. Wait, but we're supposed to be getting battery. This is how confused the United States nationals are right now. They're confused.
The White House is just as confused. Because out of one side of their mouth, we're going green. And on the other side of their mouth, we can't get rid of fossil fuels. Well, no shit, we can't get rid of fossil fuels, you moron. You're making it impossible for the fossil fuel companies to do business because your emphasis is on this green nonsense that doesn't work.
But remember, right? The major, right? The major fossil fuel companies are funding the green shit. We got to keep that in mind too.
Those are just money laundering scams.
Right.
Solyndra or anybody?
Yeah. Hello.
That's all just money laundering scams. Of course, the oil companies are in on money laundering scams.
Rex Tillerson. Did I say more?
Did you see what Putin did when we announced the ICC?
Yeah, I saw exactly what he did.
Ukraine calls Ukraine, and he was walking around Mariupol like, try me, bitch.
Yeah, he was. He's like, y'all think I'm playing? Y'all come on. He sure did. People don't respect his gangster.
If somebody in the United States says we're building a road, we've been building a road in West Virginia for about 20 years now, and it's gotten about 5 miles. Okay? It takes 4 hours. Wait a minute.
Let me make sure I heard that right. It's taken 20 years to build 5 miles of road in West Virginia.
Yes, because the freaking environmentalists throw a bitch fit about the turtle or the squirrel or the something every freaking other mile, and we have to go to court for 5 years. And
you know what, Rachel?
We're trying to build a highway that goes straight through the mountains into Virginia, so we don't have to drive all these windy ass roads or go into D.C. But no, you can't have a road that just shoots right across the mountains. Because you're going to mess with the squirrels, and you're going to mess with this, and you're going to maybe So
look though.
Crane bombed the bridge, and a month later, we've restored it. It's perfect again. We bombed Mariupol was just bombed out building. There was nothing left. It looked like one of the Iraqi cities that we blew up. It's built like shit tons of apartment complexes.
I know.
Russia got it going. Russia knows how to build some shit. I mean, they may have they're corrupt. They have I'm not saying Russia's like some great super. They know how to build shit, and they can do it quickly. We, on the other hand, have to get all the environmental people on board, and then we have to get this group on, and everybody's suing everybody, and it takes 50 years. Do you know how long we've been trying to get a pipeline to get the gas out of West Virginia? We drilled the gas. We got tons of gas in underground reservoirs right now. We have it stored. All kinds of underground storage of gas. We can't get it out of the state. We can get it out of the ground, but we can't get it out of the state because they won't let us build a pipeline.
Because environmentalists. See, you know what's funny though? people really need to think about this, right? When they're talking about getting rid of fossil fuels, and we're already talking about Ukraine and all this stuff and the potentiality of war and all this, right? Looming on the footsteps, right? I love for these green people to explain, how do you fly a FA-18 Hornet on green?
Well, according to Biden, we're going to make all of our military vehicles, which I'm assuming he means ground vehicles, green, which I can't wait to see green tanks and how that works.
Right. One big, hell, all you got to do is literally, just your regular Abrams tank, right, can handle a grenade. Man, look.
What you plugging that into?
Look.
You're in the middle of the desert. You're in the middle of Ukraine fields. What you plugging that into? You think you have a lot of sunny days in December in Ukraine?
Look. They're gonna. It's gonna be.
You realize how sensitive the solar panels are? Like, they break really easy. I'm not thinking they're great for war zones.
Hey, look, no. Look. It's gonna be, usually a tank, it needs at least 2 people to operate, 3 optimally, right? You can only put 1 person in that tank because of the amount of batteries it's gonna need to do all that traveling. They got solar panels on the back.
The tank's gonna be green.
Could you imagine fighting a war? You don't even want to fight. You're like, what is this thing looking like? Knight Rider coming down here? It's shooting what? Man, that thing.
I mean, it's one thing to make your school bus green. It's a whole nother ballgame when we're talking about this. Which, by the way, if you just stop the wars, you could really cut back on your carbon. Them bombs are a bitch on that carbon thing.
Right? What's funny? All it would take is an EMP. You ain't got to fire nothing at. Just shoot an EMP in the air. It's over. That green energy tank car, it's over for you. Your shit is fried.
They're all retarded. This is all, I mean...
It's funny
and they haven't learned anything from this war. Like, you'd think maybe we'd learn some lessons from this war that we're losing really, really bad. And we're not. We're not learning anything. We're pretending we're winning.
Yes, we're winning. Yes. That's what kills me. Out of everything you're seeing coming out, right? All that nonsense. And people still think, oh, they're winning Poland. We're gonna give Ukraine some fighter planes and this, that, and the third. I'm like,
Oh no, Poland's ready. Poland's already given a lot of their soldiers as
cannon fodder.
Soldiers that leave the Poland military and join the Ukraine military the next day, kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
But now Poland's, I don't know if it's their PM, their president, I don't know what the hell their titles are, but some big guy, important guy in Poland said, well, if Ukraine can't fight, then we're going to have to get involved. Bitch, please.
Right, man, look here. This is what people fail to understand, especially the Slava Ukrainian people, right? We see them on Twitter all the time and Facebook and all this shit, TikTok and all that. And I'm sitting here and said, you really think a country like Russia is that far in the dumps economically, they can't maintain a military? Well, let's keep that shit real. Say what?
Our economy is based on, what do we export? We export fake money and degeneracy. That's what we export.
Well, I mean,
fake money and degeneracy. That's what we got down. We got it down to a science. Fake money and degeneracy is all we export. Now, Russia, on the other hand, they're a commodities powerhouse. So you can sit and bitch about their GDP all day. Their GDP is based on commodities. Yours is based on fake money and degeneracy.
You got a point. You have a very valid point.
You can only eat one of those. You can only heat your home with one. I can heat my house and eat and live. Russia can live without the United States. The United States can't live without Russia. I don't think anybody's figured that out yet.
No, they haven't figured it out. But here's the thing, right? And while we're thinking about that a second, right? Here's the thing, and one of the biggest fears of the United States, right? One of the biggest fears of the United States was Ukraine leaning back pro-Russia, right? Because if we go back and look at, right, back in 20, 20.
I know in 2014, but why? That's what I don't understand. Why does it matter who the hell Ukraine likes?
But no, it's not the fact that it doesn't matter. But for U.S. interest is concerned, we got to keep an eye on Putin. So what did they do? They got rid of Yanukovych, right? He was pro-Russia. They got rid of Yanukovych with the color revolution, right? And then they installed Poroshenko. They figured out later Poroshenko was pro-Russia. So, son of a bitch, he fired the prosecutor, right? Y'all remember all that. And then all of a sudden Poroshenko is let out and they installed this jive turkey, this Zelensky jive turkey guy. Now he's pro-United States, and the United States needs to give us all this money to maintain our economy and our pensions. Like, y'all better pay up. Like, bitch, what? Or let me say it in hood vernacular. Nigga, what you talking about? Whose money? You lost your mind around here? Don't get popped.
Like, you're the one going through the war and everything, but
yeah,
you could just say, F you don't want to be in a war. That might be a brighter idea.
I'm just saying.
Because here's my question. Like, we keep hearing we're going to take back Crimea. Why? They don't like you.
Yeah, hello.
They don't like you.
The East.
I mean, even NBC went there. Yeah, NBC was shocked. That NBC reporter would think he saw a ghost. Yep. He was like, but they all told me they're Russian and they'll fight Ukraine if Ukraine tries to come in and take it back. Mm-hmm. And he said, I thought they would want to be part of Ukraine. They would want to be part of the West. No, nobody wants to be part of the degenerate West. What's wrong with you?
And that's the thing. And these are these complicated things these people don't understand because they're being fed the crap. Like today, like I caught on CBS, right? They're saying Putin visits Sevastopol, right? Because you know that's the capital of Crimea. Putin visits Sevastopol,
or bases,
right? And they're saying they're saying since the invasion of Crimea, it was no invasion, man. But this is what people pick up on. There was no invasion.
That Navy base forever.
Hello.
Soviet Navy base, and then stayed a Russian Navy base.
Hello.
Even when Crimea was part of Ukraine, Russia always ran that bitch.
Yes.
Because they always had their Navy base there, and it was always a Russian area that they just let Ukraine oversee, I guess.
It would be. It would be an oversee. Yeah, it would be an oversight. Yes, that's exactly correct.
And all this, Ukraine gave up their nukes when the Soviet Union ended. Bitch, they didn't have control of them nukes.
Nope.
Moscow did.
Yep, sure did.
So they couldn't have shot them off or anything. It was basically they gave them up because they were Russians. Moscow had the button. Not Ukraine. Moscow had the button.
Yep.
Ukraine couldn't do anything with those nukes because they didn't know how to work them, and the button was in Moscow. So this was they gave up. They gave Russia their shit back, is what they did.
Yep, pretty much. Or no. Russia came and repossessed it. They ran a repo on Ukraine. It's what they did. We're taking this, this, and this. We're taking this too. And while we're at it, we're taking that over there too. And your grandma's scooter. We're taking that.
Well, because they keep saying, like, well, they gave up their nukes, so we have to defend them now.
No, that's not how that works.
No. And, we never promised we wouldn't nuke NATO up at Russia's ass. Yeah, actually, we did. It's even in our paperwork. It's just not in a treaty, and that's why you guys aren't honoring it, because it was just something you said.
Right.
Something you meant. But it's in your notes. It's in the notes that you took about what you were talking about. You put it in your notes.
It's all there. It's all there. It's all right there. There's no lie there. No lie detected. It's all right there. All right.
But why don't they even try to understand how other people, like, I will give China, okay, I would not want to live there. I will say that. I would not want to live in China. But When China does foreign policy, China goes to Africa, looks at the African leader and says, to me, you're another world leader. I'm not going to treat you like the United States does, embark orders at you. We can find a way to have a mutually beneficial. I don't care about your culture as long as you stay out of my business. You do you, we do us, and we work on a business deal. Wow, that's a novel concept. The United States can't do that. We have to go in and tell people, you're not respecting the gays, and you're not transing your kids, and that's wrong.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Many.
Not everybody wants to trans their kids. Not everybody. Most of the United States doesn't want to trans their kids and be gay. So let's. I mean, we've got to live and let live. You want to trans your kids. You do you, boo. But don't go impose that on other countries that don't want it.
Yeah, I mean, look, a lot of your Central African leaders, like Congo, Kenya, and countries in that area, Namibia, Angola, they've told, like, nah, we're not doing this gay and this trans thing. No, they're like, no, we're not doing this. Well, if you want money for the United States, who cares about their money? Well, one leader, the leader in Angola said...
That's what China is. Huh? That's what China's giving them the second option.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And here's something else. I always read in the Western press about how, China goes in and, gives them financing and whatever, but China's benefiting, and it's the loans are really bad. They bankrupt the companies, and then they come in and take over the country, basically. Well, China just forgave a couple $1 billion in debt that they, loans that they had given to African countries. They just forgave them because COVID and all this shit going on with this war, and it's messing with your food supply.
Yep.
So if we don't have food to give you, what we can do is we can forgive those loans we made to you, and you can keep the infrastructure that we built with that money.
Yep.
We're not going to come in and repossess it or take possession of it or whatever and make it, little China. It's yours. And we can work together to trade because China had this brilliant idea. We make a lot of shit, and we need to sell it to people.
Yep.
And if people in Africa have jobs and money, guess what else they will do?
They will buy their shit. There you go. That's it. That's it. That's part of that. That's actually the end game of the Belt and Road strategy. That's the end game. And here's the funny thing, right? Once BRICS jumps off the ground, like it's look like it's going to do here by summer, if not summer, by early fall.
Want to pull back down.
Yes, it's going to the Belt and Road.
Got so many problems. I know that BRICS' biggest hurdle is going to be it's not China, it's not Russia, it's not India, it's not Brazil. Then you got Saudi Arabia and all these other countries wanting to join, but South Africa, and it's the white man's fault because nationalization and all the stuff that's happening in South Africa's a shit show right now.
Yes, it is.
Currency is.
Well, forget the currency piece, right? Forget the currency piece, right? What we're seeing, right? Here's the thing, right? Besides the financial crunch they're in, right? We're also seeing the end result, and I need people to pay attention to what I'm saying here, right? South Africa, when it comes to cultural and ethnic relations, is the end result of what the United States will be if we do not pay attention and stop this bullshit at the door, right? Because these.
I'm racist if I say that. You know that, right? I'm a white supremacist if I say that.
The white don't exist, and that's the thing. That's why I don't pay those labels any mind anymore, right? You know what I'm saying? But we look at down there and how
what they're doing is how. Look at this current administration. We don't they were trying to confirm somebody for a position who dropped out of high school, but he's black.
Yes.
Oh, damn it! Why are you picking the dumbass? There are black people that are probably more than qualified for that job. But that's not who you're picking for that job. You're picking some guy who has no qualifications and no ability to do the damn job. But because he's black, he deserves an opportunity. Fuck that. there are black people that are qualified to give the qualified person the job. This whole, you're not even, if you were picking the best black people to put in these positions, I wouldn't. You're picking the dumbest people you can find. Of every race, like, look at the dumbass that was stealing everybody's luggage. But he wore a dress.
And that was it, right?
I mean, that makes no sense. You're picking people because I'm a man and I'll wear a dress. Okay, well, that makes you special, but can you do the job? No.
His nickname is Sticky Fingers, and not the guy from Onyx.
Okay.
Come on now.
Haitians hate her.
Corinne Jean-Pierre, yeah. Oh yeah, I've heard it too. I've heard it down here, down. I've heard it like Lord Jesus. They be going in.
You know what I mean? You're making my group look bad. I can get that, but two, you're supporting the United States militarily going into Haiti. What the hell's wrong with? Why would you want the United States to go into Haiti? That's like the Omar, whatever the hell her name is, that's all wrong with our stupid policy in her former country. We're bombing the holy fuck out of her former country, and she's like, cool. Bitch, you're a war refugee, and you're cool with them bombing little girls just like you?
Look, and this is a thing I brought up the other day, and I got a few emails over this. We're mentioning it on the show last Sunday, actually, when I had Aja on, right, and we were talking about what is woke, what that really supposed to mean, instead of this quote unquote this white liberal version of what woke is, right? And we just laid it right out there. We were like, here's the thing, right? We have people like Ilhan Omar's and the Cory Bushes, you have the Democrat Party that get elected, but then turn around instead of advocating, right, for skin folk. They keep running the hamster wheel of white supremacy. See, that tells you everything you need to know, right? That tells you everything.
Somalian war refugee. We're not getting into her immigration faux pas, but as a Somalian war refugee, you would think you would have sympathy for the people being bombed by the government you're now working for, but you don't. There's a podcast on YouTube or whatever, they're socialists, but they're really good on foreign policy. And the one guy was talking about Cory Bush because he's from her state. And he said she was known as an activist for years. And they really thought she was going to go to D.C. and represent the BLM crew. You know what I mean? Like we want these things for our community. Great. And then she
exactly
gets there,
right.
And she gets a book deal, and she gets a cover of some magazine with Nancy Pelosi, and now she is Black Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, Black Nancy.
That's what he called her. He's like, I turned into Black Nancy Pelosi.
But see, that's the problem with these folk, right? Oh, now I'm in a position of some sort of power. Now I'm going to forget everything I ran on. Right? And I'm going to advocate over here with these people, and we're going to bomb the Somalians. We're going to keep the tax usurpation of the citizens, of the quote unquote skin folk citizens in my district, because this is what they want to do. Meanwhile, sitting at the daises and getting in front of a television camera and saying all this stupid stuff, right? Saying, yeah, we gotta stop white supremacy and we gotta stop the MAGA Republicans, and that's like you claim, you sit here right here. Here's what kills me. We gotta go to break. We gotta pay the bills real quick. But here's what kills me, right? They sit here and say this crap and talk about MAGA Republicans, this, that, and the third, but they have none of these people, right? None of these people have told us what they're going to try to do for their district and the skin folk in their district to help them thwart the white supremacy. Ain't that some shit? We got to pay bills. You already know how to do cheese, wine, and crackers. When we come back, more here with Miss Rachel. And we're going to evolve the conversation a little bit. Might be a little surprised. You know how we do. So y'all do the things. Get your cheese, wine, and crackers. And we'll be back here in 5 on Chasing Life, Liberty, and Monarchy.
Confidence in banking in Switzerland. I'm Ann Carrick, Fox News. UBS agrees to buy Credit Suisse for more than $3 billion. The move meant to calm fears after 2 U.S. banks collapse. UBS Chairman Colm Keller says the deal brings clarity to a troubled financial situation.
We're well aware that in the coming weeks and months will be difficult for many, especially for the employees. Let me reassure you that we will do our utmost to keep this time of uncertainty as short as possible.
U.S. lawmakers still looking at what happened here and what is the best course of action.
Well, I think we know we had a very rough week for American banking, and we lost confidence. And I think that raises the questions of what happened last weekend.
Congressman Patrick McHenry, chairman of the House Financial Services Committee, on CBS's Face the Nation. Chinese President Xi is expected to visit Russia this week for talks with Russian President Putin as tensions between the U.S. and Beijing continue to grow. John Kirby with National Security on Fox News Sunday.
The president wants to keep the lines of communications open with China, and you've heard him say it himself just in recent days that he does want to set up another chance to talk to President Xi, and I suspect that will happen. It'll happen in due course when it's the appropriate time to do so.
Putin currently is facing a warrant from the International Criminal Court on war crimes charges. A year-long Pentagon study shows a 24% higher rate of cancer among military pilots and ground crews. The data long sought after by retired military aviators who earlier were told studies found no greater risk of cancer compared to the general U.S. population. The new study looked at nearly 900,000 service members who flew or worked on military aircraft between 1992 and 2017. Additionally, the study shows an increase of 16% in both prostate and breast cancers. America's listening to Fox News.
The Fearless and Proud podcast series looks at acts of bravery and strength by women. March is Women's History Month, and in this first season, we look at women who played important roles in the Civil War as soldiers, spies, and nurses. We'll discuss famous examples of women pretending to be men to become soldiers and spies on both sides. Subscribe and listen now at foxnewspodcast.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
A body of a teenager is being exhumed to determine cause of death from 2015. It was found near the home of disbarred lawyer and convicted murderer Alex Murdaugh. Fox's Jonathan Seary.
Friends and relatives of Stephen Smith have raised more than 3 times the money they were seeking to commission an independent autopsy. On the Smith family's GoFundMe page, Stephen's mother, Sandy, writes, "Thank you for not allowing Stephen's story to be swept under a rug. We will pursue the exhumation immediately and provide updates along the way." Stephen Smith, who was 19 at the time of his death, was openly gay and had been a high school classmate of Murdaugh's older son, Buster. Stephen's body was found on July 8, 2015, near the Murdaugh family's Moselle hunting estate, where Buster's mother, Maggie, and brother Paul were fatally shot 6 years later.
Smith was killed in what police initially called a hit and run. One skier is dead, 2 other people injured after being caught in a backcountry avalanche in Colorado. The skier's body was recovered late Saturday, buried in about 4 feet of debris. He was missing since Friday. The Colorado Avalanche Information Center says the avalanche was 500 feet wide at the start. A premier tennis tournament hosted in Miami officially starts today. Fox's Eric Messersmith has details.
Many of the top players in the world will be in South Florida for the event over the next 2 weeks. Many, but not all. On the men's side, world number 1 and 6-time Miami Open champion Novak Djokovic will not be playing. The 22-time major winner is still not allowed to travel to the U.S. because he is unvaccinated for COVID-19. Also missing the event is the other man with 22 major titles, Rafael Nadal. He's out with an injury. There will still be several of the top players in the world competing, including defending champ Carlos Alcaraz. On the women's men's side, defending champ Iga Swiatek is the number 1 seed. Play gets underway today with qualifying matches. The first round begins Wednesday, with the finals taking place April 1st and 2nd.
I'm Ann Carey.
The Fearless and Proud podcast series looks at acts of bravery and strength by women. March is Women's History Month, and in this first season, we look at women who played important roles in the Civil War as soldiers, spies, and nurses. We'll discuss famous examples of women pretending to be men to become soldiers and spies on both sides. Subscribe and listen starting March 19th at foxnewspodcasts.com.
Hey, welcome back to Chasing Life, Liberty, and Monarchy with my lovely guest, Miss Rachel. We're just going to jump right into it. You already know the things. Just make sure you subscribe to the show, Chasing Life, Liberty, and Monarchy, on all your stuff. Make sure if you want to catch it live, if you're catching it after the fact, make sure you download the Spreaker app. Look us up. You'll be able to catch us live. If not, you'll catch us live on public radio in South Florida, Southeast Georgia, and the good old state of Utah. So I appreciate it. So I'm just gonna throw this softball out there to you, Miss Rachel. You ready for it? You ready? You got your glove ready? Here we go. Okay. She said, Trump being arrested on Tuesday.
What about it?
What about it? Told you it's a softball question. What's your first reaction? What's your first reaction when you heard that? Don't surprise me.
I don't know. I'm not surprised at all. I mean, no shit, Sherlock. They were going to do this. The part I don't understand is why such a bitch-ass charge?
Yeah, a misdemeanor.
He interfered in an election because he paid off some whore. Well, Congress pays off whores with your taxes all the time, and nobody cares.
That's it right there. That's the whole thing right there. You can give a damn about Trump paying off some hoe, right? Some dusty ass porn hoe, right? But then you ain't got no energy for the John Conyers and the Al Frankens of Congress that was sitting around here, right? They're sitting around here paying off hoes to not snitch on them. Come the fuck on.
Okay, but let's talk about this. Okay, so we have a slush fund in our Congress of our tax money reserved for no other purpose than to pay off their affairs, so that they don't make the headlines for them. Are they reporting that on their campaign finance violation bull? This campaign finance bull? No, our taxes.
Yeah, they were, look, Ms. Rachel, they were breaking in new campaign managers. It just happened to get a little physical.
I mean, I'm just saying, at least Trump used his own money.
Right.
Okay? At least he used his own money. He had enough. And by the way, if you think Stormy Daniels is the first whore that man paid off, you're naive as hell. He's been paying off whores for 30 years.
I know, right? Who we playing with? Who we playing with?
You know how he's going to beat that charge? Because the charge, here's how campaign finance works. It's not hard. If I'm running a campaign, I can't go get my hair did and write that off as a campaign expense. Why? Because I would have got my hair did any damn way.
Mm-hmm, right?
If it's a normal expense of life, if it's just part of living, it's not a campaign expense. You don't get to write off your rent for your apartment. You can write off your rent for your office, but not for your apartment, because you were paying that rent for that apartment before, and you'll be paying it after. Okay. If it is not a campaign fine, an actual thing that you have to pay because of the campaign, you went and bought a new suit, you're still going to have that suit. You're still going to wear that suit afterwards. You don't get to write off your new suit, bitch.
Right.
Okay. No.
Right.
So that means you don't have to report it on these campaign finance forms either, because it's not It's a campaign finance thing. It's not a personal finance. You have the two. You have to keep them separate. Okay. Paying off whores is a personal finance thing for Trump because he's been doing it forever. She ain't the first. She won't be the last. It didn't. It happened during a campaign, but he would have paid her off anyhow.
Yeah, right. It's just like it just baffles me how they're stuck on that. So now, if you happen to. You happen to be a guy, and you know he felt like he needed a little bit of love or extra love, and he's got to report that on his campaign finances. Man, get the fuck out of here!
Let's be honest. Most rich people that have a public. Can you imagine? I bet you Elon Musk has paid off whores.
Man, look.
He's not running for office, but I bet you he's paid off whores.
Look here. These guys here are like ludicrous. I got hoes. I got hoes in different area. Go. Y'all know the song.
And high profile. They have hoes everywhere, and they pay them to keep their fucking mouth shut. This is nothing new. It's a business contract. And if the woman's willing to do it, and she signs her name to the contract and takes the money, bitch, you just violated your contract. Which, by the way, he sued her for and won.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You do what they say. Hoes are your friends. Hoes are your enemy.
She had to give all that damn money back, plus pay his legal fees for it.
Hey, look. The first time Avenatti tried to get him, right? Remember Avenatti tried to get him with Stormy. So now the Manhattan DA is coming back for a remix, like 95 years later. Like, man, come on, man. It's the same shit, bruh. Avenatti in prison. You want to follow his track record?
It's not like Manhattan has nothing going on. It's not anything else to do. Last time I checked, Epstein died in your jail. Maybe we'll check that out.
Hey, look, $20 is $20.
This right now is. I honestly thought he would have been charged in Georgia, which I think that's a bullshit charge too. But at least it has. I can draw a line and follow their logic. I think it's stupid. I think it's absurd, but it's still. I can at least follow the. This one I can't, because here's the thing. They can't. It's not illegal to pay off a hoe. There's no law against paying off hoes. Unless people understand that there's no law against paying off the hoes. It's a legal contract. People enter them every day. But what they're getting him on is he mislabeled it in his business book. He didn't write "paid off the hoe" in his business
right.
So it's only a misdemeanor to put in your business book that it was a legal fee and not a hoe fee.
You looked at us like brothel visit, check. I'm just saying.
You mislabeled it in the account in the book. So now that you mislabeled it in the book, it's a misdemeanor to mislabel something in the book.
Right.
Okay. But we want it to be a felony. We need it to be a felony. So how do we make it a felony?
God.
Well, it has to be you mislabeled it in furtherance of another crime. Well, what crime would that be? Election interference. Bitch, please.
Right. Wait. So you mean to tell me that because he did it? Hold on a minute. So Stormy Daniels was a insider Democrat informant he was sleeping with for information, kind of like Fang was sleeping with Swalwell, right? She was handing Trump information, and because she was a DNC operative, it was a campaign. I can't make this shit up.
your legal theories, I hate Alan Dershowitz with a passion, but he's out here going, you're just making up shit.
Right.
Making luck laws out of your ass.
Right.
These are bullshit legal theories that you're just pulling out of your ass. Now, when I have to agree with Alan Dershowitz, it's a bad day, because he's a scuzzy you, not my... So.
Did I lose you?
It is what it is.
Oh, there you are. Yeah.
No.
I'm just saying. I'm just sitting here like how you string that together.
But now here.
All right, we're losing you. We're losing you. You're there.
Hello?
You are. There you are.
After J6, I questioned, was Trump in on it? Because he didn't pardon anybody. He didn't. He still to this day has never paid a dime to help any of those people.
Nope.
So I've questioned quite a few times, was Trump in on the setup? It was his Department of Justice that set him up. So his reaction was protest. The last time you told your people to protest, look what happened.
Yeah, in the context and timeline of things, yes, you would be correct on that. There's no denying that at all. But the timeline doesn't line up to all of that nonsense, right? But again, right, we know how the left operates. They will take that virtue signal, right, and plan their own shit around that. Right.
Well, I get that, but the FBI will be there to plant stuff and get shit going. I mean, the FBI was in BLM. The FBI was in the Proud Boys. The FBI, I mean, they're in everything.
Yep.
Both sides of the aisle, they're in everything.
Mm-hmm.
When you see a protest go from a protest to a riot, you guarantee the FBI is involved.
FBI or the SOG of the CIA is involved in it
well,
too.
we're supposed to pretend the CIA doesn't do domestic things. We're still in pretending.
Well, that's why they have the SOG. They can operate on American soil. The Special Operations Group. That's their purpose. They can operate on American soil, not be attached to the CIA.
See, my point is, so he knows that his followers are being targeted. I mean, we're targeting PTA moms right now, okay?
Right.
PTA moms going and saying, hey, can we not trans the kids at school?
Mm-hmm.
At least not without calling me first.
Right. Right.
But, if we're targeting the PTA mom that doesn't want her kid trans, I would think saying, go hit the streets might not be. It's poor. It's just a poor choice of wording, I guess. I don't know, but
right. Trump. One of Trump's weaknesses is he does not know when to actually shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up, bruh. Don't be telling nobody to do shit.
But he helps. If he's not involved, he still helps the FBI fuck over his own supporters. But he doesn't have to be involved because he's helping them anyhow. It doesn't really matter either way.
Well, here's the thing, right? And people can take this as a defense of Trump or whatever, right? But I'm glad if one thing, quote unquote, Republicans stood on after January 6th, right, was not running around here bailing people out. Like the left and the Democrats always do. They sit there and these people will do Antifas and the BLMs and the Monifas and the Pantifas and all them groups can do all this bullshit. And they're like, oh, we got to get money together to get Brother Frederick out, and he's out in 2 hours, out doing the same shit again.
The GOP would have bailed all these people out if they could. They're all being held without bail.
Mm-hmm.
Most of these people are without bail.
Right.
You could have the bail fund all you want, and they ain't getting out. So.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, mostly, they did that on purpose. But see, I you know what? Until someone can prove me wrong, right? And I haven't met a person yet that can prove me wrong. At January 6th, was a complete and total government setup.
Oh, yes. If I'm being honest, so was the Summer of Love. Most of it was FBI setup. Like
heck yeah.
I mean, the amount of shit that came out in that Michigan court case, and there's still people that went to jail over that, even though it came out that it was a setup in the case.
Yep.
We still send you to jail because the guy's standing there saying, "Hey, let's go do it bad," and they're like, "Okay, if you say so." Well, the guy that said, "Let's go do a bad's a Fed," and all the people that were stupid enough to go along are now sitting in jail, and the Fed got a bonus.
Yep.
That's great.
Yeah, he got a promotion, right? He got a promotion to the Washington, D.C. field office. That guy. He got a promotion.
Just in time for January 6th.
Right. Just in time for January 6th, he got a promotion. Like, come on, y'all. Like, this whole thing, Summer of Love, look, we knew what the fuck was actually going down when they were saying that MAGA and Trump supporters are super spreader events, while their little BLM Antifa events are not super spreaders. Right? We knew the fix was in.
We got to change topics. Let's change. Trump's boring. Let's change topics. I got to tell you a funny story.
All right.
Okay. This is hilarious. This shows the power of what just some random dumbass can do on Twitter.
Uh-oh.
There is a political commentator. Love him, great. He's kind of socialisty, but he's not a Dem, not a Republican. His name's Garland Nixon. He's got Sputnik radio show, and he's got something on. Okay. He put out a tweet. Just a tweet. You know how Jeff will do the tweets that say breaking, and then it's some bullshit satire thing? Okay. Garland does these too. He puts breaking and then some satire bullshit. But it always has a little piece of truth to it. So he puts out a tweet that says, breaking, insider from the White House says something about when Biden was asked about the devastation in Ukraine, he said, "You ain't seen nothing yet. Wait till you see what we do to Taiwan."
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
Shit got translated into Chinese, went viral in China and Taiwan. And now there is a law about satire being proposed in the legislature of Taiwan to prevent another scare like that from happening, because they thought that Biden actually said that he wanted to make Taiwan the next Ukraine, which, by the way, they do.
Yeah, they do. There's no lie. There's no lie. That's the funny part. That is no lie.
But just the fact that he said, White House insider said Biden was like, "Wait till you see what we do to Taiwan," But it went viral over there, and they were asking the White House and the State Department to comment on it and all kinds of shit. Yeah, I mean, it went crazy.
Good for him. Good for him, though, right? Like, it's like the CCP and the hold on our federal government to redirect narratives, and it shows you, right? Like you said, one person can literally have a world in a frenzy, and then holding the same governments accountable for the shit that never said. That I scream like, "Who said that?" But that dude, he better watch his head though, because they'll have his head on a platter. They ain't gonna. I bet you right now, the Marshal Service and the Secret Service is at his front door right now, or they're surveilling him.
He lives in Maryland, right by D.C. He works in D.C. on K Street or whatever. He used to be a cop in Baltimore for years. He's only got 85,000 followers. It's not like this is some big, huge, celebrity or something, but he's got a decent following. He's got his little radio show on Sputnik, and some local station in LA or something picks it up. But just the fact that tweet just broke China and Taiwan. I mean, and the fact, people, that is what they're planning for you. And so, once it went absolutely crazy over there, And he was, kind of, he's never said whether the feds have spoken to him about it or not, but I would be shocked if they didn't. He has said that he doesn't, they need to realize that this is true, even though the tweet was satire. He tweeted out Lindsey Graham saying it on Fox. He's like, I didn't make it up out of my ass. I made it up out of what Lindsey Graham's, broadcasting to the world. This is what they're going to do to you, whether you understand it or not.
Right, exactly right.
Lindsey Graham be saying some crazy shit.
Yeah, he's some people's not favorite senator. You know what I mean? We gotta kick off this thing here. I appreciate you coming through, having a funny and funky conversation with me as always. I want to thank everybody in the live chat this evening for coming through and hanging out with us for a minute. Get your laugh on before the start of the week. Make sure you guys stop by tomorrow night for What the Hill. There's some legislation that we need to enlighten you on. So make sure you stop by for that. Those of you that are on the Patreon, you're going to get a heads up on it tomorrow morning on what we're going to be talking about, so you can be versed in kind of what we're doing. So until next time, life, love, liberty, and happiness. Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Southern Liberty Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others. Post about it on social media. Subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.bpmg.us, or leave a rating and review on iTunes. To catch all the latest from Roderick, you can follow him on social media at manofjustice007. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.